Hello, everyone. This is Dr. Rhonda Farrell, your success strategist, the CEO of Global Innovation Strategies, bringing you leadership in flux, staying centered in a world of constant change. Today, I want to open with a truth that's becoming harder to ignore. The world simply isn't slowing down, and neither is the pressure on leaders like you. We're leading in an era where the landscape shifts weekly. It's not just business as usual. It's business in perpetual motion. Between economic turbulence, disruptive AI breakthroughs, and evolving expectations from clients, collaborators, and even our own teams, solopreneurs and business leaders are being asked to make decisions faster, smarter, and with more emotional precision than ever before. But here's the kicker and the opportunity. Success does not come from avoiding the storm. It comes from learning in real time and leading through it. And this week, we're going there. We're going to explore what it means to be a centered, strategic, emotionally intelligent leader in flux. A leader who doesn't just ride the waves, but learns to surf them, not to merely survive change, but to use it as fuel for growth, influence, and legacy building. So the global signals that we're tracking this week is about the wider leadership ecosystem pulse check. And it's really identifying the fact that global CEO confidence is rising. It's been a volatile first half of 2025. The translation is leaders are cautiously hopeful, but they're not taking their eye off the adaptability ball. Resiliency is still the currency of the quarter. AI regulation frameworks are tightening across continents. This isn't a wait and see moment. It's a revise your strategy and check your blind spots moments. Are your tools aligned with evolving expectations around data ethics, transparency, and automation? Freelancer and solopreneur growth is exploding, especially in emerging markets. If you're not actively differentiating yourself, refining your digital presence, or building strong networks, you risk blending into the noise. Younger generations are rewriting the leadership playbook. They're not just buying, they're voting with their wallets and their labor. They want businesses rooted in purpose, not just profit. Bottom line, it's not just about leading with your skills anymore. It's about leading with your awesome soul. So this week's focus is really doubling down on the fact that we need to lead through change, not just get stuck in it. Because to meet this moment with clarity and strength, we need to anchor around three core pillars. And the first is emotional agility over emotional control. The best leaders today, they're not the ones who never feel rattled. They're the ones who know how to respond intentionally, but yet not react impulsively. They give themselves space to process what's unfolding. They learn to pivot without panicking. And they practice something I call pause power. Noticing their reaction, naming the emotion, and choosing the next best response. This isn't about being overly robotic or stoic. It's about becoming more responsive, more adaptable, and more attuned, both with yourself and in your communities that you are serving. So emotional agility is your leadership superpower, especially in times of flux. Next core pillar, strategic patience meets bold action. We're living in a culture that glorifies speed, urgency, 10x hacks. But guess what? Speed without clarity equals very expensive mistakes. Great leaders know when they need to pause to realign. They know to ask, what's the real underlying issue here? Is this change that we're considering deeply aligned with my mission? And am I moving from a place of fear or from a place of strategic alliance? Strategic patience doesn't mean stalling. It means making the next chess move that actually matters most to your business and your profitability. Because sometimes the boldest action is to hold your ground with your long-term vision in mind. Go long, go offense. Core pillar 3, visibility is the new leadership currency. You've heard me say it before. People do not follow perfection. They follow your presence. Whether you lead a team of 1 or a team of 100, your people need to see you, hear you, and feel you. That doesn't mean you have to put on a polished performance. What it does mean is showing up live, even if you're tired or exhausted, sending the voice note, not the rehearsed memo, and sharing the win and the wobble. Visibility in 2025 is about connection, not curation. You're not put on this earth to impress. You're here to inspire and interact and innovate. So our challenge of the week is to lead with one brave conversation. Here's where we take this theory and make it real in each of our worlds. We're challenging you to choose one hard conversation you've been dodging. Maybe it's with a client whose scope keeps creeping. Maybe it's with a team member whose energy is just way off. Maybe it's with yourself about where you're settling or self-silencing. Schedule it and approach it with curiosity, not condensation, and most of all, not conclusion ahead of time. Frame it as an alignment opportunity. The more you can be in alignment with your strategic outcomes and results you put in front of your team, your partners, your customers, the greater synergies you're going to be able to build with these team members and others that you're having these conversation with, because ultimately it's not a confrontation. It leads to a place of cooperation and collaboration and greater communication. So true leadership in flux means leading through it anyway, even when it's uncomfortable, and especially then. That is your growth opportunity. So as a reflection on today's topic, I invite you to slow down and reflect. How do you currently respond to rapid change? Is there one reaction that you'd like to upgrade? What values do I want myself and my leaders to express, especially when we feel off balance or wobbly? And then where might you be shrinking from visibility, either out of fear, perfectionism, or some sort of peer pressure? These are not easy questions, but they're the ones that will stretch you forward. So your spotlight action for this week is to step into that spotlight with intention. Post a short video or a note. Here's how I'm staying centered while leading through change. Be real, be human, be visible. Use the hashtag Spotlight on Success, and let's normalize resilient leadership together. Our closing quote for today is, the greatest danger in times of turbulence is not the turbulence itself. It is taking action with yesterday's logic. We were not made to lead with outdated maps. We were made to build new ones with courage, clarity, and creativity. This is your moment, so let's have you lead like it is. I'll see you next week for week 30, where we'll explore revenue rhythms, building consistent cash flow without the chaos. Until then, lead bravely, breathe deeply, and know that you're exactly where you need to be.